As you guys can see in the background, we're about to pour some concrete. This one's a bit different. Typically, as you guys know, we stain concrete with acid stain. Today we're actually going to use a color hardener to dye the concrete. This is a different technique, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to dust the color or the hardener onto this concrete, and then we're going to work it in, and that's how we're going to get the color. So the benefits of the hardener is obviously it's going to be in the concrete, so if you have any chips in the concrete in the future, the color is going to be built in, so you won't see the chip. Well, the chip's going to be there, but the color is not going to go away. So just different benefits, but that's not really the biggest thing. The big one is obviously it's just a different technique, different look. It's not going to give you the stained concrete look. It's going to be different. So anyway, we're going to do that today, and we're going to show you how we do that.
Tonight I'm feeling mean, gonna make an ugly scene. Tonight I'm feeling mean, I'm feeling mean. Tonight I'm gonna pick myself a fight. If some deserving dirtbag a black eye, and if he swings at me, then I'll bust that sucker's knee. 'Cause tonight I'm feeling mean, I'm feeling mean. I'm feeling mean, I'm feeling mean. The meanest hunk of meat that anyone's ever seen. Get out of the way of the hurricane. There's a heavy price to pay. Tonight I'm feeling mean, I'm feeling mean.
All right, so you guys can see we got it all poured out. The one thing we're not going to do on this one, we're going to have to skip the pan floating step. I'm just afraid the pan is going to turn up too much of that cream that doesn't have the color in it, and we're just going to have to dust the entire thing all over again. And you know, the sun's starting to come up, and I don't want to run the risk of getting it too dry too fast, and then we're going to run into problems. So we're going to skip that step. We're going to mag float it a few more times with a mag vibe. That thing works pretty good. The other thing we're not going to use is we're not going to use a bump cutter today. So I'm already not liking this whole color hardener thing. I mean, I like what it's doing, and if you don't use pan floats or bump cutters, then you're fine. But as you guys know, I like to use both of those, and we're gonna make sure we run the mag float a lot of times. However, it's still gonna make me a little nervous that it's not gonna be as flat as it could be, but it'll be fine. It's just me. And as we're troweling, we're gonna dust more powder, and hopefully we'll be able to see where it needs it. If it needs any more, we're gonna put the machine on there with the combination blades first, and give it a couple of passes, and then we'll get the trowel machine on there with the finished blades. All right, so here we go. He's using the trowel machine with the combination blades. These are poly blades. So everything we're gonna do today is gonna be poly blades. We wanna make sure that we don't leave any marks with metal blades. At this point, you can use regular steel blades. It's not that critical. It becomes very critical when you're slicking it off towards the end.
Drink 15 pints of beer, then I'll go right out of here. And tonight I'm gonna drink like Daddy done. 'Cause I'm feeling mean, I'm feeling mean.
All right, I know it's hard to see, but I took the other color, the darker color, and I just kind of spread it out randomly all over the slab. We're just trying to give it a kind of a two-tone color, but not overwhelming. They don't want it too dark. That's why we did the white base. And now the sun is at full blast. As you can see, we have two trowel machines on there. The first trowel machine is floating, and the second one he's doing the finishing pass on there, or not the finishing pass, but he has the finishing blades on it. Like I said, they're both running poly blades, which is absolutely what you want to do in this type of application with the color hardener. They have day one in those buckets, the finishing aid, in case they need it. So I have a 300-gallon tank right here that we're going to use to water cure the slab after we're done. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to put water on here for days, but anything helps. Now, in the meantime, on this porch out here, I have this Wacker-Neuson 24-inch edger trowel that I'm going to finish this small porch with. The main reason I want to get an edger is to do this edge right here. This is, to me, it's extremely critical, because if typically they trowel that by hand, when it's really hot and it's getting away from you, that takes a long time. This one is pretty short, so it's not that big of a deal, but a lot of times we have barndos that we do porches all the way around, which means we have this situation all the way around the slab, which is a lot of work. The other thing we're going to be able to do is use it around the pipes. As you can see, he's doing that by hand right now, but once we start running the edger trowel, we'll be able to do that all with the edger. And I love the fact that I can get right up to the edge. And that rotating ring works really well. And that thing works really good. Look how close I'm able to get. I'm able to get right up to the edge. Now this is extremely critical. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but concrete guys know what I'm talking about. See, these porches are sloping down. So when you slope down and you have to do this by hand, a lot of times finishers, especially if they're inexperienced, they're gonna want to try to keep it level, but you're not supposed to keep it level. You're supposed to follow the slope. And if they don't, what ends up happening is you have slope, and then right at the end, it lifts up, and now you end up with water along the edge. So, you know, every time it rains or you get some moisture, you're gonna have a little bit of water right about 6 inches in from your slab. That's how that happens. This edger, because I'm gonna be able to pan right up to it, it's gonna set the slope the same way as everything else, and just you know, it's just gonna make it a lot better. So as you guys saw, we worked up a lot of cream. I'm gonna let it dry up a little, and then I'm gonna go the other way. We might dust a little more color on it. Man, those poly blades do an amazing job. I know you're probably tired of hearing about them, but they do an excellent job, especially in this type of work. If you're gonna do color hardener, or you plan on doing stained concrete or anything, if the concrete slab is the finished product, you need to invest in some poly blades. All right, so there you have it. We're done. Looks really, really good. Obviously, it's gonna turn even lighter with time. Once it bleaches out in a couple of weeks, it's gonna be pretty light. So you can see some of the spots right here. They have darker spots. That's where I threw that vanilla color, a little bit darker. And we'll see what it looks like when it finally dries out, and after we clean it up and seal it. We need to wait at least 30 days to seal it, so that's not gonna happen anytime soon. But anyway, the trowel machine, the little edger, man, that thing worked really, really good. This one right here, I'm liking it. I think we're gonna have to get us one of those. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It is noon right now, so This one went pretty good. We used Ingram out of Pleasanton, and those guys have never failed me. They always give us really good service, and today was no different. We had it all poured out in about an hour, and that's because they had to turn around. They sent me 4 trucks, came here, went back and got some more. So either way, it turned out really, really good. Summer is slightly behind us. I mean, today is probably 98. I haven't even checked the weather, but it's believe it or not, 98 is really good when you're used to 105, 110 some days. So I'm happy for 100 or 98. Customers very happy, so I'm happy. We'll see you next time. We are Texas Barndominiums.